So now you got people that want to literally stay inside and play video games and have AI girlfriends, and that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
You heard her, guys. Stop being a bitch. Go get a job. Go get a job. What are you doing? It's so boomer. It reeks of the boomer. My God. We want to start our lives. We want to become something in the world. It's just that the current system or the current things that are happening right now are obviously preventing us to do so. All right, boys. We have got ourselves a big one here. We have got the rise of stay-at-home sons. I found this on Gerbert's Void or Gerbert Johnson's style of videos. Definitely a great channel. You should check it out. Now, the stay-at-home sons kind of things, I think I am one of them. I am unemployed and currently still with my parents, so I would be under the consideration of a stay-at-home son. So we're going to watch this video, react to some of the brain-dead takes that they say, but I mean, like, should we be expected? This is Fox News. This is legacy media. I'm not surprised. And if you remember Tommy Loran, if I'm pronouncing her name right, she was the one who was like if you watch like Ab and Preach videos, she was the one dogging men for not getting their act, like men not getting their act together. She finally did get married, so good for her. I hope that man, I hope everything's, hope everything's going all right, even though I would definitely not get with a woman like her. Anyways, let's get into what she has to say on Fox, on the Fox channel, all right? Also, Fox, can you get rid of this layout? I hate it when I have to press play and then this layout just completely closes. Let's go into it.
And Tommy Lahren, Outkick host. Tommy, now, we called them on my old radio show. We did the whole thing on mamonis, right? The Italian word is for the mamonis, or they stay at home, and the moms like the son staying at home longer. But the phrase is becoming popular of these stay-at-home sons because an unemployed jeopardy.
One thing also I want to note here, don't you always love it when like you watch people on the legacy news and you just have, and they have to like stand still, they have to stand like and smile. You can't see it on my mask, but I'm like smiling and standing completely still. You have to stare straight at the camera. You cannot move, and you almost have to look like a psychopath, which is why I love YouTube, because it could be like, woo, oh, I hit my ruler. You can do a lot of stuff. You have a lot more freedom with what you like to do. Small nitpick, but let's get back into it.
Contestant says he was just trying to make people laugh, but is this an actual problem in our society?
It's a major problem. And, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. They did much.
Yeah, you heard that, guys. Yeah, staying home and being unemployed and not being able to get a job, it's cutesy. It's kind of a cutesy kind of thing. You heard it. This is some good content right here.
It's the same thing with quiet quitting, where you can go to work and do less, and if you call it quiet quitting, it's somehow better.
I want to stop on that point. Just make a quick note on quiet quitting. Quiet quitting is freaking ridiculous. It's stupid. If I'm paid to do a job, I'm going to do only that job. I'm not going to do less and get fired, but I'm not going to do more and make my other colleagues look like they're not doing their job. Actually, you can actually piss off your workers. If there's people you're working with and they have a certain workflow, but you are working faster, you might piss them off and they might get a little bit mad because you're trying to like drive them a little bit more crazier. But this kind of thing where you have to like, well, you have to go above and beyond. It's like, am I getting above and beyond pay, right? If I'm paying a plumber to come into my house and fix one of the toilets on my first floor, I'm not going to say, are you going to go above and beyond, Mr. Plumber? Are you going to go and fix the toilet upstairs and the one on the bottom? No, I paid them to do one toilet. That's all they're going to do. Quiet quitting is stupid.
But Laura, I got to tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. That's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married.
I wouldn't say it's the feminization with men. If you guys have been obviously paying attention to what happened to the country politically, I don't think that if men were really feminized, I think 2024, the election would have gone completely different, to be completely honest. People aren't men don't really want to be feminized. Men want to be men. Is that really hard to say? I want to be a man. But you're talking about the things what they're missing is they're missing a bunch of things that are happening in our world that are making it harder and harder for us to do our job as men to provide, obviously. Continuing on.
They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And therein lies a big part of the problem.
Yeah. I enjoy. Did you hear that? I like doing that. I love just, staying at home and never progressing up and trying to put my degree to use. I just like staying at home and ordering DoorDash. I don't really order DoorDash, but let's just say I do. I like to order DoorDash and stay home and never progress my life. How out of touch do you have to be? This is so freaking ridiculous. It's quite clear. Either they're doing this to push views because they definitely got my attention on it, or they're just so out of touch and they didn't even ask anybody like me or anyone else that's like, hey, why are you not getting a job? Why aren't you stepping up to the plate and being a man? Maybe you should ask people. Let's continue on.
Well, and also with the rise of AI and AI dating, as they call it, which is sick, it's going to be even easier and perhaps more attractive for these types of individuals to remain behind closed doors. And what does that do to families and young women and dating?
I'll make a note on that. Most dudes, at least from my perspective, and you know what? I'm out of the dating game. That's one game I've actually won. I've not won the job game, but I've won the dating game. Tell me, guys, are you guys dating an AI girlfriend? Is that a new thing? Because I know Tinder and all the Hinge is goated, but Tinder and all that I know is a really tough and it's a struggle. A lot of people can't get a girlfriend. Are you guys pulling the actual Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson Her, which is a great movie? Watch Her if you want to see a glimpse into AI dating. That's a great movie. But I would assume that most dudes, they want to date an actual girl because with AI, you can't really, shaboink an AI. We're not there yet. Most of those, sex dolls and AI dolls kind of they go into the area of very uncanny. We're not there yet. But then again, I'm kind of out of this realm. You guys are going to have to update me on this. I'm more of on the belief that people actually want to date a real human being.
I also blame the social conditioning of the COVID era, the dumbest era in modern American history, because a lot of people, especially these young people, they grew up like this, thinking that it was safer at home, thinking that outside was dangerous, interacting with people was scary.
Hold on. You're talking about Gen Z. The cough era, as I'll put it, because I know YouTube doesn't like the C word, but the cough era, Gen Z didn't grow up during that time. I think you're talking about Gen Alpha or Gen Alpha that's coming up right now. We didn't grow up during the cough era. We grew up during at least I grew up during the standard 2000s when things were somewhat good. So a little bit off there, Tommy.
So now you got people that want to literally stay inside and play video games and have AI girlfriends, and that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
But you heard her, guys. Stop being a bitch. Go get a job. What are you doing? It's so boomer. It reeks of the boomer. My God. And I think she's in her 30s. What are you talking about? You're not even in that class, right? But you heard her. Go get a job, guys. It's just that simple. Be a man. Let's get back to basics. Basics used to be, go working a standard job, like a factory job, and you were able to support a family after that. And I'm not just pulling that out of my ass. My grandfather was able to do, and probably your guys' grandfather and grandma, or maybe grandmothers, but grandfathers were definitely able to go work one job and able to support a family on that one job. That was the basics back then. That was great, a great time. So she's just covering up a lot of aspects that society and the system has completely changed, right? You're not pointing out the aspect that like the cost of living has gone completely out of insane. Housing has gone out of insane. Like, you're leaving a lot of things off the table. The fact that job security is out the window pretty much. Like, you know, you're blaming it all on, oh, we just want to sit back and play video games. And I'm sure that there's people out there who don't want to advance their life, but most people would want to go further in life. Most people don't, especially in America, don't want to live with their parents for the rest of their life, but they have to because of unfortunate circumstances in the job market, cost of living, and many other things that are just happening in our system that just absolutely wallop the entire generation of Gen Z. I actually saw a meme recently. I think it was like play a prank on somebody, basically tell them go and study a degree for 4 to 6 years, and then tell them that, yeah, you can't, there won't be a job waiting for you. That's a really fun prank. But the funny thing is that you obviously can't go back to the college and say, hey, it didn't work out. AI took my job. Can I return my resume? I mean, not my resume. Can I return my degree? It's like, nope, but you can pay this $100,000 that you've accumulated in debt. Absolutely ridiculous. And you guys are going to have to tell me in the comments, do you think that these people actually have the ability, like, do you think that these people know that they're being completely, like, is the word disingenuous, or they're completely misrepresenting people like me, or like a stay-at-home son, you know? Or do you think that, like, they're just, I don't even know how to say this. Basically, what I'm saying is they have the ability to figure this stuff out. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of time in their hands to figure this stuff out. But it's such a wild take that they decided to air this and not try and research and like go and ask people. Maybe they asked a bunch of boomers and women, but they didn't ask us, because we're going to go into the comments. We're going to go a little bit into the comments back on Gerbert's Void. Just another little bit of a shout out. Subscribe to Gerbert's Void. He's definitely a bigger channel than me, but great takes. Funny as heck guy. I especially love his little raps that he does in front of videos. But let's go into the comments, because some of the comments noted on what I was going for there. So, for starting it off, the irony of 2 30-year-old childless women blaming 20-year-old men for declining birth rates. Exactly. And not even pointing about all the other aspects in life that are just happening. They're just saying like, oh, you guys want to be lazy and stuff. It's like, it's so funny. Yeah, here's one. Let me just work 50 times harder than my grandfather for 10% of the life that he had. Exactly. We have to go through a lot more stuff. And I'm not saying that, you know, there wasn't struggles back then when my grandfather was around. You know, there definitely was struggles. There was definitely things that made it hard. But I would say, especially with making money in the job market and like cost of living, we are definitely like the poorest generation, and it's just not working out so well for us, guys. Base comment, honestly. What's wrong with young men? Ask boomers and women's. And that was the one I was noting too, because I don't really think that they asked people like us. I don't think that they actually like said like, hey, you know, let's go out and interview somebody who's doing this. Let's go out and ask people like, why are they not getting jobs? Why are they not being quote unquote men anymore? I'm still surprised that Tomi Lahren's going down this route, like continuing to dog on men, even though she's in a relationship. Like, bro, like start having kids and get off of Fox. And the last one I want to get into, this one's kind of a sad one, but it's kind of a truth, and even something that I'm slightly going through, but not in the exact way. Been unemployed for a while, wants to make money now, goes to a job interview. Why do you have a resume gap? Haven't you been working for a year and a half, Anon? Gets rejected. The resume gap increases. Can't get a job because of the resume gap. Repeat. It's a vicious cycle, bros. Yes, it is. Like, even like me, like I'm like, for example, I'm trying to like go for a bridge job just to kind of keep the flow of money coming in. And because obviously you kind of get the curse of work, of getting a college degree, where they say like, okay, yo, you have a college degree, you have this experience working a job that's a little bit more higher than retail. And they're gonna say like, once you get a better position, you're gonna leave. And it's like, that is technically true. I can see why the overqualified thing happens, but it really sucks when you're trying, like, you just want to make some money. You just want to make some quick cash or something like that. But you're not gonna get a job because they're gonna say you're gonna leave as soon as you get a better gig, and that's definitely what happened. And I see why companies do it, but companies are, what would you say? They're very picky right now. It's almost like, I would even say maybe they're even worse than the dating market at this point. But seriously, that's honestly, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap up these kind of ideas. I am blown away. I'm blown away that she's still, Tommy Loren's still on this dog and men out kind of thing and calling us like lazy little plebeians for just, oh yeah, y'all want to play your Call of Duties and eat your Cheeto dust and not advance yourself in life. And it's like, are you serious? We want to start our lives. We want to become something in the world. It's just that the current system or the current things that are happening right now are obviously preventing us to do so, right? To start making families and start doing stuff, you got to have money. You got to be able to buy shelter. You got to be able to have things like a house and stuff like that. But it's just becoming farther and farther out of our reach, and we have to work exceptionally hard for all this stuff. And what do we get? Peanuts. We get peanuts, and we get one of the best things is no job security. There's no security. So you have to worry about, even if I go on a mortgage or if I have kids, one day it could all be taken away from me. It could be shut down, and then I'm going to be put in the same boat as everyone else, having to apply 500 to 1,000 jobs, waiting 7 to 9 months before I ever hear an offer. Some people have to wait even longer. It's absolute insanity. Fox News continuing to do what they do best and misinform the public on, and I mean, maybe it works. They know their market. They know that probably just boomers are watching it. Like people, me, and Gen Z are not watching Fox News, so they know who they're talking to. They know what their demographic is who watches. But anyways, the levels of self-awareness is absolutely ridiculous. All right, guys, my stay-at-home sons, just like me, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think on this kind of video. Also, go check out Gerbert's Void's video, or Gerber Johnson's. Great content. Tommy Lahren and Tommy Lahren, blah, 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 blah. She's still back at it. Congratulations on getting married, but for God's sakes, you still are dogging out men. Hopefully that marriage goes well. And I actually do mean that. I hope it does go well, because, it's better to have good marriages in this world than marriages that fail. But stop dogging out men and actually get the facts right. All right. That's all I have to say. Cheers. Let me know if you like the new studio. I'll still be out in the forest. Later.